Let's go to our call of the day. It is on Tesla. Morgan Stanley's Jonas is cautioning clients to temper expectations that Tesla will be able to turn a profit in China. Jonas cited Chinese authorities' decision to temporarily suspend customs clearance for Model 3 sedans, adding that the move highlights the inherent risks to U.S. auto and tech firms doing business in China. So obviously there's a lot going on with Tesla. Let's try and focus on the China issue that he's writing about here. How big of a concern is it?
Medium concern, but we were just talking about trade and saying, well, how much is known, how much is baked into the market at this point, and how much is unknown and is not baked in? Well, here's an example of something that's unknown and not baked in, which is Tesla apparently having trouble getting its new Model 3 into China. Now, it's unclear if China is giving Tesla the business here, and they're saying, oh, your paperwork's not in order, go back to the end of the line, or if the paperwork really is does have a problem. I mean, that's quite possible.
Like they caught in crosshairs here, or is there a real issue?
I mean, we don't know. So, I mean, Tesla is a new importer into China. They're kind of, this is not something they've been doing for a long time. So it's very possible they just got their wires crossed. And I mean, one of the reports said, for example, that window stickers for the car were not in the proper language. I mean, they were in English rather than whatever the local language needs to be. That's an example. Like, imagine a car arriving here with a German window sticker on it, so that you'd say that you can't put that on the market here. So maybe they're honest mistakes, or maybe this is gamesmanship meant to make a point to the U.S. negotiators. We don't know. But I think Jonas of Morgan Stanley is saying this. He sees this as a broader, longer-term risk and not just as a one-off, partly because of trade tensions and partly because there's a lot of technology involved in a Tesla automobile and automobiles in general. We're now getting into artificial intelligence, autonomous technology. These could be things as this, if the rivalry between the United States and China intensifies, these could actually become, there could actually become limits on the ability to export these technologies, as under national security concerns. So he's just saying there are a lot of things to be worried about.
And Jonas also calling out some language in the 10K that Tesla recently added about how the expansion into China is essential for the company because it's the largest electric vehicle network in the world. And I guess it's true because they have the most consumers, but it's still, Rick, to me, feels like the U.S. is the most established market and that China has all these regulatory hurdles. And I think on a TAM basis, right, total addressable market, China is the biggest electric vehicle market, but it seems obvious the U.S. would be the heart of that action, right?
No.
Feels like a misdirection.
Actually not. And the reason is pollution in China, for number one, and because China recognizes that electric vehicles are one solution to the horrible pollution problems in places like Beijing and Shanghai and other big cities. And the government in China can do things that the government here cannot do to just essentially mandate production of these things. Yeah. And then to go beyond that, enable technology innovation, support technology innovation with government funding. I mean, look what's happening here in the United States. Under Obama, the U.S. government, this goes all the way back to the stimulus bill in 2009, did pass that tax credit. It's a big federal tax credit, $7,500 for people who buy an electric car. But that is winding down. There was a limit. That phases out once you've sold so many cars. And guess what? Trump administration, no interest in that. So they're not going to renew that. Meanwhile, China can throw literally billions of dollars at this technology. And by the way, this is one of the technologies where they want to be a global leader, and there's a good chance they will.